we now welcome on very special guests, Dale Brisby and Donnie Daytona. And then these two guys in the corner, Willie and Carson, is that y'all's names? Yes, indeed. So I just love the yes sirs, by the way. It makes me feel like really important. Y'all walked in and y'all were just dropping yes sirs left and right.
I keep them in line.
Dale raised them right.
That's right. Yeah.
So they're off camera, but we have like a little bit of an oversized chair that they're both sitting in, and we were trying to figure out if they were going to sit side by side or on top of the other, but they've decided to go side by side.
Yeah, it's kind of cute.
They're snickering, and they're the kind of guys that you think they're probably talking about you, but they're respectful to your face at least.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. No, sir, to your face.
Yes, sir. I think you're an idiot, sir.
They're up to something.
Yeah.
No.
That's the intern program for you.
So let's talk about that real quick. Does everybody that you employ come through the intern program? I feel like they do.
The majority of them.
Besides Leroy.
So I think it's like 18, 19 people at the warehouse.
Man.
I think it's 18 including me now, but 9 of them are interns. So barely a majority if you don't include me. But yeah, just over the years, Donnie here has been here the longest out of all 9. He's been here 3 years, but it's just kind of grown. About the week I decided to take one, this kid messaged me. This has been years back. Hey, I need some college credit. Would you ever entertain taking an intern? I was like, well, actually. And that was Deanie Weenie String Bikini. Was it Dean? So
does everybody get a nickname?
Pretty much.
Wait, what's Carson's?
The Colonel Sanders. His last name is Sanders.
Okay, I
Yeah.
like that one.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back a little bit. If you're not familiar with Dale Brisby, you must have been living under a rock. But like, what is Rodeo Time? Explain your elevator pitch on what Rodeo Time and the brand that you've built is.
Well, for the 3 of you that don't know me,
We don't have 3 listeners, Dale. We've got like 2. I don't know why you're on this still.
That's more than our podcast. Greatest bull rider of all time.
Okay.
You're welcome. Thank you guys for rolling out the red carpet. Not that I'm surprised that you called me. But, yeah, so I've just been riding bulls and punching bulls ever since I was 9 years old. I actually invented riding bulls with one hand. A lot of people don't know that. But I was 9 years old, took off on my own, rodeoing, and bucking stock around the clock. And I said, somebody asked me what time it was when I was 9, and I said, it's rodeo time.
He's just a T-shirt machine.
I've lived by that.
Well,
just
and
named off like 9 different T-shirts.
Yeah, write this down, interns. No, those are already all T-shirts. I've seen all of them.
Yep.
What's funny is whenever we usually do this podcast, within like 30 seconds, I can tell if I'm going to control it or if someone else is going to. I already know that you're going to control this podcast.
Yeah, so actually we've kicked around some new names for the podcast. No, I'm just kidding. We can't really beat Yee Yee.
No. It just becomes the Dale Brisby podcast presented by Yee Yee. That's just what ours is going to become. It's like, hey, can you call in this week? It's like we just start having him as a guest every other week, and then it kind of just continues. And before you know it, you're just the guest.
Yeah.
You're just the host.
Hayden, we're not going to have you on this week. Sorry.
It's like, wait, I work here.
Like Office Space. Yeah. Wait,
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of a meeting with the Bobs. Yeah, they called me at home. Yeah.
I'm going to need you to move your desk downstairs. Okay. So what everybody wants to know, and I know you get tired of asking this, and we've already had this conversation, but let's hash it out again. The sunglasses. People want to know, do you shower in the sunglasses?
Well, the answer is yes.
Okay.
And the reason is because I'm a man of mystery and I got something to hide.
I mean, do you have ugly eyes? I feel like
Or the opposite.
you're pretty handsome with the sunglasses on, but I feel like if you took them off, you could like go. You're like a 6. You could be a 4 if you took them off.
Or a 9.5, and I still not only your girl but your mom. You know what I'm saying?
I think a 6 is an overestimation.
Dale Brisby's here to break hearts.
Donnie,
And,
what is Dale?
Oh, he's a hard 5.
A hard 5?
Yeah.
You're a hard 5 in Newcastle.
In the
You moved to
daytime,
Austin,
maybe.
Texas, all of a sudden. You're
In
a
the
3.
daytime, maybe. You throw some smoke in a bar and get a few drinks in Donnie here, and maybe it moves up to an 8. You know.
Okay, I got a question about the sunglasses though. Do you feel like, because there's the whole mystery of Dale Brisby, we deal with it as well with Earl Dibbles. Obviously, I don't deal with it because I am who I am. But there's the whole mystery of Dale Brisby. Do you ever feel like whenever you're talking to someone at maybe a rodeo, do you ever like start to feel them move to the side of you to try and get a look at your eyes behind the sunglasses? Has that ever happened?
No, I don't. No one's ever dared. You know, just because, like I said, I'm known for riding bulls and punching fools. So like people just, there's a respect level that people have that they just, you know, they don't want to cross that line and make Odell mad. You know, people ask about it a lot.
I know.
People ask for it, and yeah, if they, I mean, it would take a big apparel purchase for me to
Right.
even consider showing them my eyes.
So you can be bought though.
I can be bought. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's
There's
low
a
man.
price.
There's a price tag on everything.
There's a price. Yeah. Now photography, that's another question.
Yeah.
But
I thought of you because at Barstool there is a guy, PFT commenter, and he's been huge at Barstool forever. And yeah, y'all know about this. So he had sunglasses forever, and there was never like he started off he got hired from Barstool because he was an internet personality. No one even knew who he was. And he was actually living in Austin at the time, and he was commenting on all the pro football blog stuff, and he was hilarious. And then so he started to get a lot of followers. People knew about him. Then he gets picked off by Barstool, and he worked at Barstool for like 4+ years. Always wore sunglasses inside, like was that guy. He's on one of the biggest sports podcasts.
that's the millennial success story.
It
That's what
really
that
is. But then at some point, they did it for views. They had like 900,000 YouTube subscribers, and they said whenever we get to 1 million, he'll take them off. And they did like a
Ooh.
24-hour live stream.
Wow.
And so they got 100,000.
And
like,
he didn't blink. He just opened his eyes for 24 hours.
Well, he was as ugly as I thought. See,
Oh.
he was ugly with and without the sunglasses.
Yeah.
You've at least got this going on, so I would suggest don't take them off, even if
Gotcha.
you got a lot of
Yeah.
subscribers.
Yeah. Leave the mystery there. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Join the Rodeo Time Shirt of the Month Club, and you can get a peek at Dale's eyes in an
Polaroid.
exclusive
Yes.
email or something.
Yeah, but you can't cancel it for like the first 36 months.
Yeah.
So don't
Three-
think you're signing up and
Yeah.
then canceling.
3-year commitment.
Yeah, 3-year commitment.
Paid up front.
You guys, these are all good ideas.
Yep. I love it.
All right, explain your relationship with Katie.
Katie Kaufman,
Mm-hmm.
my ex-girlfriend.
And explain it to the listeners like they have no idea. Explain the beef. Because this has been one of the I don't know y'all's world. Like we're kind of in the same country world, but
Yeah,
I don't know the
yeah.
rodeo side. But it's really funny for me to follow along because y'all really sell it. But are y'all selling
Well-
anything, or y'all really hate each other?
Well, let me tell you this. This will probably wrap it all up. I can continue to explain, but she puts the hot in psychotic. You see what I'm saying? So, like, people, the listeners out there, you don't even have to see a picture of her to realize, oh, I get it. You know the crazy hot matrix?
Mm-hmm.
She's on it in that corner. She puts the hot in psychotic. But, yeah, she's got a neck longer than a Monday. What else do I have to say about her? Yeah. I might need to re-up on my restraining order. So
How long did y'all date?
too long, really, you know, just long enough that it's just a bad memory. So, but yeah, we still have to work together. She's a sideline reporter, interviewer at rodeos where I continue to go 90. So we run into each other all the time. So, but her husband is a really good friend of mine, Elliot.
And he's a good guy.
Yeah, used to
Okay.
play professional baseball.
Oh.
So and he's now like a super smart with stocks and stuff. So we're always he's giving me tips. I don't give him any tips, but anyway,
Got any tips?
helps me with my curveball. But yeah, Katie Kaufman. Yeah,
Do you
look
have
her
anything?
up.
I feel like I'm just getting
I
circles.
think you're doing a
around.
great job.
These are good questions. These are legit
I'm
questions.
just- I'm just listening.
Yeah, like you guys are paying attention. Like this is good stuff, and it's stuff we don't talk about on my podcast.
Never gonna make it, Dale.
I became much more a fan of Katie Kaufman after she got that dental work done. You know what I'm saying?
I felt bad about that one.
Our chances of reconciliation went way up. They're still really low, but
It didn't fix the neck.
her neck, she's actually got a normal neck. It might be slightly long. I just really like that joke, you know? Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so you don't drink, do you?
No.
Do
Never
you
have.
zen or do you dip? Or do
Man, I've never drank smoked or dipped or anything. It's just kind of like this little streak I have going.
Can you still be a cowboy if you don't do any of those things?
Some people would argue no, but I would hope yes.
The people are
So,
wondering.
The people are wondering. You can definitely be I'm not one to say that you can't be a cowboy if you do. So I would hope
Okay.
they would say I can't be a cowboy if I don't.
Sure. Okay.
But I am the one that makes the rules. So you guys be careful because I might make it a rule.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Everyone's got to have a vice, though. You got to have a vice. I know what your vice
Single
is, but I'm
moms.
gonna see if you your mom. Hey, if you would have dropped
Hey,
a your
look at-
mom joke
right
right
here.
there.
Your mom's favorite bull rider.
I know what your vice is.
What's that?
It's the casino.
Okay, that's his.
Yeah.
Donnie's. We've got a couple of podcasts titled Donnie's Gambling Problem. The people like to stay updated on it.
Donnie, let's talk after this. I got one
Yeah,
too.
you bet.
But so what the problem with that is not recently because of, the 1-9, but BC before COVID, I would find myself in Vegas 30 days a year.
Right.
A month
because
a year I'm
Rodeo,
in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so sometimes the PBR World Finals, which is 2 weeks, the NFR, which is 2 weeks, other random trips to film. So, like, I'm just twiddling my thumbs in a casino. And sometimes I would get really hot, get on a heater, and you never leave a heater.
Never.
So, yeah, and then the next trip they take it from me.
Yeah. Always.
Y'all go to Vegas any? I'm
never
sure
been. I've never
you never been
been
to Vegas?
Mm-mm.
Man, it's just
I've been to Reno, which is like Vegas but older people and more cigarettes. It was terrible.
Yeah. So I don't drink, and one of the things that keeps you at the table is they bring you drinks
Right.
for free. But I had a chip dealer tell me one time, I like blackjack
Okay.
because I think you can stretch your money out the longest there and
Sure.
have a good time, especially when you're trying to kill time when you're there for a month. But he was like, man, you'll never make any money at a blackjack table betting the minimum every time. Like, you might walk away with a couple of $100 every now and then. But if you hear about somebody that like left one night after and with like $16,000, once they get going and get some momentum and get on a little run, they double their bet you know what I'm saying? So that's good because you can make money that way, but you can also lose a lot of money that way. How much
Yeah,
was it?
that's called the Martindale system. Like, you bet $1, and if you lose, you bet $2, and if you lose that, you bet $4.
Oh,
and
no, that's
like,
not.
Like, long term, you lose money. You know that, right?
That's the
That's a
Donnie
bad-
system.
No, that's the Donnie-
That's a bad
That's the
idea.
Donnie system.
What I do is, like, I bet minimum for one hand, double that bet. If
Yeah,
I-
that's what
If
I'm
I
saying.
win another, then I'll double that. And if I lose a hand, then I'll go back to the minimum and
Gotcha.
work my way back up. That's what I
Yeah.
do.
I mean, essentially, I try to get to where I'm playing with house money, but
Yeah.
Right. I know that that your vice is casino because I ran into this guy at Co Wetzel's birthday party in Fort Worth,
oh yeah,
and there was like a casino setup that they had, and it was really cool. But then I didn't go to the tables or anything, and I was there for probably an hour, and Dale was just still at the same table, and I guess it was hot. And then I had to think about it. I was like, wait, we're in Texas. They're not even playing with money. And this
Yeah.
guy was over there at the table for 2 hours, not even playing with money, just playing with actual chips.
yeah.
was
Daddy
like, all right,
almost
that's
won
his
it all
vice.
that night.
It was like, that's his vice. I
Yeah.
found it.
Yeah, that was it. I don't even remember what they were giving away. Who was it? Lil Flip played.
Yeah, Lil
that
Flip.
night. Yeah, that was a Co Wetzel. That was a party.
That was a random night. There's some different people there. That's more your world, but I was surprised to see some people that I wouldn't expect to see there,
Uh-huh.
like bigger people.
Yeah.
Explain to me what a buckle bunny is.
What would be another industry? I mean, it's essentially. I don't want to use the groupie. Sounds kind of.
No, I think that's the right term. Like,
Yeah.
Like a group.
I mean, you'll find them at like a dirt bike track or like.
Yeah.
Like a cleat chaser.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a
exactly.
cleat chaser kind of. But I don't know. I mean, buckle bunnies have hearts too,
Yeah.
Woodrow.
Yeah.
Do these guys over here have any buckle bunnies chasing them
Yes.
off camera?
Yeah. No.
Oh, Willie looks like he's got probably a couple buckle bunnies after him.
Yeah, no, buckle bunnies. They've got a special place in my heart. What? I don't. Why are you laughing at that? That's a
I'm
genuine
not
statement. I know.
laughing.
Willie's over there snickering like a.
Well, they've been
schoolgirl.
snickering the whole time. They're just snickering.
Like I said,
Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
eHarmony couldn't have joined 3 rednecks better than the 3 interns I put together in the flea market. The flea market is the house I put them in for obvious reasons.
Is it hard to stay humble and get a realistic view of your comedy when you have these guys laughing at every single thing?
Yeah, they laugh
say?
at everything you say. Your
It's-
head's probably the size of this room.
It's gold. This that I'm giving them just falls out of my mouth. Gold.
Donnie,
You're
are you just so over it?
No, I enjoy my job, but like,
But
I'm glad he
like-
brings in other like guys to do that, so I can do my job. That's
Yeah.
their job. This is mine. Yeah.
Everybody's got their own little style of humor in our group, but I'm the godfather. You know what I'm saying?
3 years ago, Donnie was sitting in the corner giggling too. And that
Uh-huh.
lasted
I don't
probably
know about
that lasted probably 3 months.
No.
Donnie's, yeah. Donnie's a hard one to win over. I'll say that.
So, yeah, I can see
He's a
that.
fan, but I had to work for that one.
That's why Dale kept him around. He liked the chase. He's like, I'm gonna make this guy laugh.
Exactly. It was a challenge, and at times I feel like I'm meeting it, and other times when he's like, when he doesn't approve, he'll say, "I don't know, man."
It's hard to get you to laugh too. So I mean,
Right? Yeah.
So-
No. Yeah. Or maybe I'm laughing on the inside. I just want to seem cool around you because you don't laugh that hard.
Okay.
Can't give you too much credit.
Yeah.
Why are so many bull riders named Cody and Dalton?
That's a good question.
Every bull rider. Like if I want my kid to be a bull rider, I'm gonna name him Dalton or Cody.
Right.
You notice that?
Yeah. No. Oh yeah. It's crazy how many Codys I have in my phone. Go to my contacts and
Yeah,
count
let's
how
see.
many Codys I have. You spell it Cody,
What's
Willie,
funny
by the
about
way. Yeah, now he's giggling. This is
Oh, they changed your background to a picture
Oh,
of them.
got him. I think it's just because of, most bull riders have a bull riding dad.
Mm.
I would
You're
be
the dad of
curious-
most of them, right?
The daddy of them all.
You guys get me. You
Dale
guys
has
get
like
me.
26-year-old sons out there. How does that work?
Oh, wow.
Let's count you count them real quick. Yeah, I mean, you just gotta give like a good cowboy name. There's a lot of like Spur, and national champion Rodeo. That's a real rodeo name. His sister's name
Wait,
is
what?
Amma. Yeah.
Whoa.
Dad's name is Bob Champion.
His last name is actually Champion.
Correct.
It's not like a Ron Artest thing where you got it changed.
Right.
So
Last name Champion.
first
First
name
name.
Grand.
No, national.
Oh, National. That's worse.
It's way better than worse. It's better.
National.
Awesome.
I'm just talking about name. Throw out the last name. What would you rather be named, National or Grand?
National.
National.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean.
Hey, wait, hold on, real quick.
I've
How do
heard
you
it my
spell
whole
National?
life.
Spell it. I want the inserts to spell National. Okay. Okay.
I like how they
There you
split
go.
it in half.
Team
I went to college too, and I can't spell worth a damn.
Anyway, but yeah, I mean, rodeo family. You know what I'm saying? So like, there was a kid growing up. His name was Kicks. His middle name was Aston. I felt like that was. That's not very. That's not very Western though. That's just random.
We've got 38 Codys.
I got 38 Codys in my phone.
Cody Ride. I'm just gonna send that to my cell phone.
Okay, well, there's 2 Cody Wrights. One of them spelled with an I, and it's a girl. So
No, just
make
not
sure.
that.
He hits up the guy.
Yeah, because
It had
I've
to
got
have
them mixed
been-
up before. Because
It
in
had to
college, I
have been someone in
tried
the
to call.
80s or the 90s.
I
that was
tried to call
popular.
Cody the girl.
Whoa.
And, and Cody Wright, the world champion, answered the phone. I was like, "Oh, sorry, Cody, wrong number." I'm trying to call a chick.
I mean, dude, there's some insane, like Tough. I mean, now Tough's a cool name, but Tough, like, imagine naming your kid Tough.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what
They
I'm
you
probably
gotta-
didn't. That was probably a nickname, right?
But the
Tough
two,
Edeman was a nickname. Yeah.
but Tough for Tough Hedeman is an understatement.
Yeah.
You know, so he lived up to it.
Yeah, fair enough. We were talking about this the other day about, like, there's certain names, if you name your kid that, like Brady, they have to be a quarterback. Like, there's certain names. Sutton or no, Sutter.
Yeah, Sutter.
He says he's gonna name his boy one day Sutter, and I was like, dude, if your kid's name is Sutter Smith, he's gonna be the kid that has like 4 of the half-inch wristbands all up and down, like spats, and he does like the cancer. He's like he goes to a 2A high school, but like the cancer awareness game, he puts like pink spats on. It's like, chill out, dude. You got 60 kids in your graduating
We just have to hope he
class.
does not have a stuttering problem. Otherwise, that'd be
I was pretty jealous. A buddy of mine named his daughter Maggie from Lonesome Dove.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty. It's like a deep track of it's
Yeah.
not like naming your son Gus,
Yeah. Or
which is still a cool name, but like a deep track from Lonesome Dove. Anyway,
Yeah.
John Wayne names, those would be cool.
like what?
Well, like deep tracks.
Yeah.
Tall Jackson from the War Wagon.
That one's good.
Yeah.
Tall Jackson. You talk about this whole. What do you call where they all stay?
The flea market.
The house they stay in is a flea market. It's like, so usually when I get a new intern, it's because I found somewhere to stick one of them to live.
Right.
You know,
because
like,
you said you've got like a list of people that.
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, we could always use another
Right.
intern. It's just where we're going to stick them. Well, then we came across the flea market, which was this shack in Winnebago. And it was infested with, you guessed it. But they're gone now, right? Y'all haven't seen any. So
Well, they're all on them.
you
probably tracked the fleas into this dang podcast studio.
We conveniently and creatively named it the Flea Market. They don't like the nickname, but I love it. I think it's hilarious, and it fits the 3 that live in it.
It sounds like some real life Yellowstone.
It's eerily similar.
Yeah.
Eerily similar. And most of them get branded. They
Ooh.
voluntarily they get tattoos. None of these 3 have them, which kind of makes.
Well, they're not part
Oh
of the
yeah,
Yellowstone.
sorry.
Wait,
Let's
where's
see
it at? Where's your tattoo at? Oh, I thought it was gonna be on your butt. Not that I wanted to see.
We got to keep.
I just walked into that myself. My bad.
We got to keep it classy. You've got one, Kev. There's like 6 out of the 17 or 18 employees have Rodeo Time tattoos.
Speaking of which, have you had anyone get your face tattooed on them? Any fans?
I can't remember about the face. I've had my signature.
Your signature?
Like I sign it.
Is
and
that still
then-
weird to you? Or not weird, but is it just kind of insane that someone's getting just your scribble mark?
It's like a crazy level of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to say burdensome, but like because I'll have them like come in and be like, all right, sign it right here, and I'm going to go get it tattooed. And I'm thinking, man, I better not mess up in life. You know, like, oh, that got turned into an hole. Go get this covered up.
Tattoo did not age well.
I want Rodeo Time and Dale Brisby tattoos to age well.
Yep.
That's
There you go.
the burden I wear on my shoulders as I walk away. But it's been a crazy amount. I have personally probably seen like 25. I bet y'all seen way more.
Yeah.
We don't have any employees with Yee tattooed on
Well, so this
Whoa.
goes.
Sounded eager over there.
This guy, yeah, he's real excited. Brian, you got to get a mic over there. Like the producer, I guess, do y'all have a producer that? Yeah, so you have a mic, but have you ever seen the podcast where like there's the people on the podcast and then there's like
Yeah.
the producer that
Mhm.
we need to get that.
I need a setup like that though. Like you're changing camera angles like while you don't have to go back and edit.
It's all
Yeah.
Dude,
We
I
need
was
to work
watching
on
one of y'all's
something
the
like
other day and you were on the soundboard. Do y'all just
Oh.
put that on the table? Like, do y'all just have that on
Yeah.
the table?
I'm
It's
proud
right
of that
there?
thing.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we're excited. Our audio used to suck. Yeah.
I used to do that with my mouth. So when that thing came
You're
out-
real big league when you can actually do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so early podcast, like the podcast has been a struggle for me to get started, and it took me like a year and a half, and I finally got it to upload. I was just pressing the wrong button, and then like our audio sucked for the first 60, and now they're great. And then inevitably, whenever you get the great guest on and a great talk, you realize afterwards you didn't hit record.
Dang, that's crazy. That happens with y'all too?
Yes.
We don't even know if this podcast is actually recording, by the way.
Yeah, I usually try to assume they're not, and we'll have to do it again. So,
It's always fun to call someone back up after that.
yeah.
All right, we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. All right, let's talk about Netflix. What was the name of the show again?
How to be a cowboy.
Okay, duh. I always just call it Dale's Show. And then
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it actually has a name to it.
Yeah.
Whenever it came out Taylor was like, "Have you watched?" My fiance was like, "Have you watched How to Be a Cowboy yet?" It's like, "What is that? I'm not gonna watch that." She goes, "It's Dale's show." Like, oh yeah, let's watch it tonight.
Yeah. No, of course that was a joke. Yeah.
Your
So
mom's
how long-
favorite show.
Yeah, your mom's favorite show, your mom's favorite bull rider, and your mom's favorite show. Why don't you have? That's what you should do. Is How to Be a Cowboy your mom's favorite show?
Check. Get on it. My shirt guy over
Why?
there.
Yeah, your interns are usually supposed to be walking around with notepads, and I don't see notepads on either of them. In the brain,
better.
yeah.
They
Yeah, we'll
better.
see how far that lasts.
Steel trap.
So how long did y'all film for that?
6 episodes, 22 minutes each. Took us 2 months and some change.
Yeah.
Man,
5 days a week.
Okay.
Because they're kind of the union type deals, so it's
Mhm.
like you got to have a but yeah, 5. And then our YouTube channel, we still had to keep
Right.
up, because we couldn't talk about the show, so we didn't want to like just hit pause on all of our content, and so we kept going. It's actually, that was at that time the best our YouTube had ever performed. Like we were hustling our butts off.
Why is that?
It just we worked really hard that summer to get ready because we knew we weren't going to have 5 days a week,
Right.
to film. And so we had some momentum built from that. We repurposed some old stuff just because we had to, we felt like. And and then we were still filming on the weekends. Like there was some of the most exciting stuff happened during Netflix that they didn't catch. Like this one day they were going to film Jordan at one of her bull ridings, which was what they should be doing. That's exciting. She's a really good girl bull rider, which, there's not a lot of girl bull riders anyway. And the camera crew is in my driveway, and me, Donnie, and
Corey Anderson.
another friend of ours drive back just to turn around in the back. And one of my bulls had gotten out and had his head. Imagine a panel where there's 2 little bitty squares in the corner to kind of keep it up off the ground that are about a foot across, 12 inches. And he had ran his head through that and broke the panel off from the other, panels next to it. So he's wearing this huge, heavy panel on his neck like a necklace. And so it's like flipping over. And this is a mean bull. How he got his head in there, I don't know.
You posted that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
remember
I saw
seeing it.
that.
So I yell at this camera crew like, "Hey, get the cameras. It's Netflix. Like, hey, that's why you're here,
Yeah.
Y'all got 20 people from California here to film us doing exciting stuff. This is literally a gift from the Lord. Hey, I'm going to let this thing happen that's really exciting where potentially nobody gets hurt while there's a Netflix camera in your driveway." I was like, "Thank you, a YouTuber's dream." And they were like, and they just looked and they were like, "Okay," and then turned around and drove off. I think Jordan actually may have gotten bucked off at that rodeo. They didn't even use it. And so I was like,
Do you think it's because they didn't understand?
No, they didn't.
Okay.
They didn't understand. It
Because
was
y'all just had 20 people. Was it annoying? Like, Donnie, it had to have been annoying because you know this brand so well and you're at like the heart of the content and stuff and editing and everything. And then you just have 20 people that have no idea. You don't have to talk badly. I'm not trying to talk badly about Netflix, but it's just crazy because y'all know the ins and outs of everything. And then you have 20 people. They're trying to make a show. I get it. But they don't understand your day-to-day. Like, they don't understand what that life actually looks like. That's got to be a little tough.
I wouldn't say it was annoying. I don't know. You try to look at it from their point of view, I guess. And their point of view is probably the majority point of view of America and the people that are going to be watching the show. So the questions they're asking, they're trying to get answered for everybody else. And I don't know. You just kind of try to understand that going into it. It was fun. I had a good time.
How was that compared to the expectation that you had for it? You probably had an idea of what it would be like in terms of script and work and the number of people. How was it compared to what you thought it'd be?
I personally had no idea what it was going to be like.
I think it was. If you watch our videos, like there's parts of it, like for instance, the opening of the show. There's like 5 camera angles. It's classified as unscripted, which is a new word for reality. But like the opening of it, you can tell like there's a drone flying, like it's obviously planned, but there's humor to it and it's funny. And so then there's the other side of it where everything is completely unplanned. Carl Wayne getting out, busting through the gate, almost ruining his life. There's a bull that gets out at the sale barn, the buck-offs that he had in the arena. None of that's planned. That's all genuine stuff. But to your point, the thing that was difficult, I'm listed as a producer on the show, and I would argue I had to work just as hard as any other producer because these guys are from L.A. I'm talking like in L.A. and grew up in L.A., like kind of lifestyle. They have no idea the difference in a bull and a steer, a cow and a heifer, none of that. And they're all cows to them, and which is
doesn't
fine.
know that, idiots. I definitely know that.
Which is fine, but they're having to make decisions on what the show's going to be, and so I had to be involved in a lot of it. And so like we were gathering, they really wanted this scene of us gathering these cows, and I was like, well, if you would sit on that hill, those cows are right over there, and we're going to line up around them, and we're going to gather them like we do couple times a year, and it's going to be perfect. They'll go right by you, and they're over there right now. They're like, okay. So we take off. 2.5 hours later, they were like, they just thought, well, we're going to get this B-roll stuff over here, and we're just sitting out there waiting on them. And by the time they go, these cows had walked off, and they were like, man, them cows took off on us. And I said, well, sir, 3 hours, all they got to be going is 1 mile an hour. That's 3 miles doing the math. But they just don't know. They just think, and so there were a few like little moments where I think we both recognized like, hey, there's the agriculture industry side of this that Dale is absolutely the expert on. And then there's shutter speed, aperture, and whatnot that they're the expert on. And so about the third week, it all came together, and we were able to bring it, you know what I mean? Like, we kind of broke through those communication barriers. So it ended up being a really good experience, and it's still could continue to go on. Netflix does exactly what they want, when they want, and they don't warn you. So I could have a missed call from them when we get out of here. There's just no telling.
It reminds me of the music industry because people see it and they're like, man, that's so awesome that you have this new album and then this new song's on radio. And then behind the scenes, it's right when you release it, they're like, we need to hit these streaming numbers by the end of the month, or this is going to get dropped. The album needs to hit this many physical sales, or this is going to start going downhill. You're hot, and then now it's going to start going down. And I remember you were reaching out to everybody saying, hey, guys, we need everybody to post about it. We need to hit these numbers. Was it stressful immediately where you were like, all right, well, we got to get to season 2 now, or were you able to manage the stress?
So a lot of that I took a lot of that on myself. Like, they didn't ask me to do it. Netflix doesn't promote anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they don't require or ask you to,
Wow.
It's all algorithm based. It's just like on like YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Like, you guys might make a video that you assume will be the most viral thing you've ever posted, and it doesn't do anything.
Yep.
And the opposite's true. You have no idea. You're like, I don't even know if we want to post this, and then it goes viral. Well, that's the same thing on Netflix. I mean, we've all heard of shows where it's just like, oh my gosh, how did I miss this? And like, why is this not number one? And then, but this other trash show is. Well, it's just an algorithm, But essentially, they don't promote, and they like it when you do, obviously. So I took a lot of that on myself, and I normally like never in my life would ask for something like that, but I thought, man, if there's ever a time where I would, it would be now.
This is the time.
And so I called in like some favors of sorts, and so it paid off. Like, our numbers are good, I guess at this point, in whatever their deciding factor is, they may not be good enough for them to call me yet, but I'm not sure. I don't know. They just don't share that kind of stuff.
If you don't really have like if you're not expecting anything out of it, you're like, this is an awesome opportunity that we're going to get out of this. We're going to get in front of new eyeballs. If there's never another season, then that's completely okay. And there's so many people that that don't have any foundation before, and then they get someone knows someone or whatever, and then all of a sudden they have a Netflix show a year later. Whereas with you guys, it's like, I may be speaking, I'm not speaking for you, but I would think that it's like, well, if we never do another Netflix season, who cares? Because we own all of our content. Like, we do our own. We have a very healthy YouTube foundation that watches every single rodeo time. Like, y'all's viewership is insane. The engagement's great. Whenever you build a loyal following, some may call it cults, because you have similar to what Yee has, but it's like, okay, cool. We don't have to have this.
Yes, sir.
Whereas like I looked at Chip and Joanna Gaines, it's like they had very,
man.
very out of left field. But I grew up in Waco area, and so I know about them, and it's like, where did these two come from? Like, they look like they were made in a Hollywood machine. And, like, the show's fine, and it does crazy numbies. But it's like they were literally made in a machine, and they don't own any of their content. I think they probably do now that they're huge.
Right.
They have, like, a YouTube and stuff. But they used to not when they first started.
Yeah.
It was all HGTV.
Yeah, and really, I guess I kind of realized that about myself in the negotiation phase, and which I didn't really, it was a very smooth negotiation deal as far as working out the deal, but I kind of realized about myself, like, not that they asked me to, but I'm not going to sell my soul for anything. Like, I'm very much at peace with what I do in life. And somebody asked me the other day what my 5-year goal is. I was like, if I'm doing exactly what I'm doing today in 5 years, I will be completely happy.
Nice.
And so I knew that then whenever we were going through that. And essentially, like, all the collaborations we do, a viral video, a Netflix show, any little TikTok, Snapchat every day, they're all bricks, and some bricks might be bigger than others. But if you got to enjoy laying bricks. And I just don't mind the daily grind. Like, I love it. I love what I do. And so there's not, like, I don't have to have a season. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But there was early on videos, like, there was always, it was neat to do the Netflix show because when I would put out a video that I thought was fire or should be fire, or I just enjoyed doing it and I didn't care how many people watched it, and however a few thousand people watch it rather than tens or hundreds of thousands, like, I would always wonder, it's not so much how many, but who. And one of these days, one of those people might lead to, like, a show or a movie or something. And inevitably it ended up happening, and that part was neat because I'd always kind of thought, like, somebody's going to watch that, and I would value each view. Anyways, it was a cool process. I learned a lot about myself, learned a lot about production, and it was good to have the affirmation that I love what I'm doing.
Yeah. One of my favorite quotes I've ever heard was, real winners love the process of winning more than actually winning.
Yep.
It's like they love the daily grind in and out. Like, it's so funny. There were probably people that came out of the woodwork whenever your show comes out on Netflix, or like whenever we have, we talk about it with EE Day. It's like, I haven't heard from you in, a year since last EE Day. Like, where have you been all this time?
Yeah.
It's like whenever you blow up or whenever you have some type of win, a lot of people like to come out of the woodwork. It's like, no, where were you whenever I was grinding day in, day out with my team?
100%. And I think probably one of the things that I have in common with Earl is that, like, we were doing us, like, I was doing me. Like, I made content for like 3 years I didn't even know you could monetize YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And then the apparel line came later, like, as a natural progression. And I feel like that's probably, like, he was just being him, and so like all you guys are, like, living your life, and then this thing came along that you got to do rather than go to the internet to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is okay. There's nothing wrong with that. 100%. Like, it's okay to want to start a business and do that. That's completely fine. But I think there's a certain authenticity to it that people can tell. Like, I was a class clown growing up.
No way.
Right. Yeah. If only you could imagine. And then, like, I'd spent some time in FFA, which gave me, like, some public speaking experience. And then, we turned on a camera, and one thing led to another. And so we just kept doing that because I liked making people laugh. I was passionate about rodeo. So all three of those things came together. And then eventually we added in the apparel. And so that was a natural progression. That it's kind of like you said, like if I had to choose somebody to fight, the last person I would want to choose is somebody who enjoys the actual fight. Like, I talk about bareback riders, like in rodeo, like, they would be the last. It's the roughest event. Bull riding is rough, but bareback riding is rough. if you really watch it. And if I had to choose an event of who to fight, bareback riders are last because they actually enjoy the actual fight that much. And some people just like to talk about it, or they like to have fought and hopefully won. You know what I mean? But those are the guys that, like, they're in it. Like, anyway.
What's the easiest rodeo event?
Easiest?
Like, what are the ones?
Well, the easiest to do would probably be barrel racing, but that that might be one of the hardest to win at. I'll follow it up with that. Like, I don't want to.
There's so many people doing it.
I don't want to criticize those girls because it's easy to do, but it's hard to be good at. So I'll say that.
Is that because the difference between amazing and good and like average is minuscules of a second? Is that why?
Right.
Yeah, it's just so.
Well,
like,
yeah.
Every time I go to rodeo, I'm like, oh, 1st and 8th were like really close.
Right. Yeah. 100%.
Like every time.
Yeah. So those girls are being crazy fast, but it's I don't know much about the timed event end. Obviously, the timed event there's 2 ends of the arena, and sometimes they're literally on the opposite ends. But I say it as timed event and rough stock. So timed event would be barrel racing, team roping, calf roping, steer wrestling, and steer roping. And then rough stock would be bareback, saddle bronc, bull riding, bullfighting, and pickup men. So I would include those last. So those are the rough. I grew up on the rough stock end. So like my old man did we just like are consumed with anything rough stock. He could team rope too. I'm not good with a rope down there. So like as far as the rough stock, which one's the easiest? I would say bullfighting is probably like the simplest that if someone No. Bull riding's like probably the easiest to learn, but it's maybe the hardest. They're each so unique. They look similar, but they're each so unique. Saddle bronc riding is definitely the hardest to learn. But once you get it down, it's the easiest on your body.
Hayden actually told me that he would for sure ride a bull.
Ride a bull.
If you invited us.
Well,
there.
There's more to this. We talked about. So I don't want to compete with any of your stuff, but our fall launch, if we did a shirt, another round of shirts, which crushed, by the way, we did if you aren't familiar and you're listening, we did a Ye Ol' Sun
That was the
shirt.
best collab we ever did.
That was a cool shirt.
It was a sick shirt.
That was a cool shirt.
So
art
if
turned
we
out
did
awesome.
another one, and if we like we can't tell customers how many, but we can say we have a certain amount, or maybe we can, I don't know, a certain amount of shirts that we're trying to sell in one day. And we do it maybe we do a random launch. It doesn't have to be one of our big launches. But if we sold a certain amount of shirts, I said I would come to y'all's place, and I would I'd come to out to Newcastle, and I would
cue the Owen Wilson. Wow.
Is that possible, or
stupid?
would he
100%.
have?
Absolutely.
He's like, oh, we can set it up.
Absolutely,
He's
it's
like,
possible.
that's at least 100K on YouTube
That's
right
like
now.
that's like my life. Like
I mean, I have
it's
no experience.
I saw
None.
the Chatter House
I
one
have
did it the other day with them.
put a crazy amount of people on their first bull.
Really?
Aside from like a few guys like Lyle Sankey who puts on rodeo schools, outside of the people that put on rodeo schools, I bet like I would rival someone for who's put the most people on their first bull. So, I mean, I'm an expert.
Would it be stupid to get on like your meanest bull? Would that be dumb?
My meaning, like that'd be Little Don. No, well,
I can only imagine the names he has for his.
it wouldn't be stupid. No, I mean it would be a little more risky, but
I was.
and you're
thinking
already
about
riding
this.
a bull, so
Yeah.
it's pretty risky.
I was thinking about this, and then I was like looking at your videos, and then I saw Prison Mike
Oh yeah.
with this guy.
The thing about this video though is that Dale, he talks the talk, but that dude will be on like
Dude,
by your side. If
anyone
something
that
goes
ever
down.
says you're a fraud, which I don't say that. I would never say that.
people are
This
saying,
is insane. We'll can we put the video, the TikTok in the YouTube? We'll put it in the video, so if you're watching at home. But
loose. Get out of there. Get loose.
It's unbelievable how this got. By the way, who is this? Is this one of y'all's
His name's
guys?
Tyler Kipps. He's a buddy of mine. I was actually texting him this morning.
Dude, I mean, he almost died.
So if you watch the video, and if you guys just watched it, what happens is most of the time when you see somebody hung up to a bull, they're hung up by their hand. You know, their bull rope might
Right.
roll over. Well, Tyler gets off, his hand comes out, but his spur hangs to the rope. So when you're hanging by your hand, like your feet are dangling, you can jump a little. You've got your other hand to help you. Your head is not under the bull. There's ways the bullfighter can help you get out. There's a lot of things to where you can. There's a procedure, if you will, to working a hang up when a bull rider is hung up like that. But when you're hung by your spur, you are helpless. It's the most helpless thing in rodeo is being hung by your foot to something. Like, what are you going to do? You can't walk your way up you're being drugged by a bull. And so being a contestant rider, bull rider, all of the above, I know that feeling. So like when this guy gets hung up, like I'm like, oh man, we got to help him or he's going to die. Because his head's dragging.
Yeah, it's just going to go
So when you're
on
hung by your
until-
foot,
yeah.
now your head is under the bull.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I think he was short enough and the bull was tall enough that his head was right about like that bull's like shin.
That's perfect for you, Donnie.
Still
bet.
prety dangerous though.
I heard y'all make fun of his height
So-
on one episode, so now I got to jump in.
I forgot I had a knife in my pocket. I'm going to be honest. My brother, fortunately, did not. He ended up cutting the rope. But I remember this video. Tough Hedeman gets hung up to this bull in like the 90s at the NFR. And like how they ended up finally getting him out was like 9 guys like stop the bull. It's on YouTube somewhere, Tough Hedeman getting hung up. That video flashed through my mind. And I was like, we've just all got to tackle this bull. There's nobody horseback. And so I'm like, well, I guess I'll start. And I went to this bull's head and like just grabbed on. And I was like, I'm gonna die with him. If he's gonna I don't know. Like it's dumb.
It's like fight or flight.
It's really a
Kicks in.
dumb thing to
Yeah.
do, you know, like you're not gonna stop a bull.
Yeah.
But
Well, you
that
were
just
expecting all
was-
your interns to jump out there and help you, and they were just
Which
like,
they had, you know, and the one at the time that was there was Gabe. Donnie was out of town. So Gabe is from LA. He was a bartender in LA. This is like maybe his 3rd buck out. He has not been around, like he pet a horse for the first time. You know what I'm saying? And so like this is a very complicated hang up for the most, you know, professional of bullfighters. You know, very small percentage of people in the world know what to do. And I'm yelling at Gabe to do it.
Get on his head.
Anyway, it was chaos.
you can hear the fear in your voice in it. Like something
Yeah.
kicks in, you can hear it,
And
and then you can hear people around the camera, whoever's filming, like someone goes, "What do we do?"
Yeah. And Leroy jumps in there, tries to help me, gets run over. People give him heck because you can see in the video that he grabs it after he gets up, he picks up his cap. Well, he assumed, like all of us, oh, he's got to be out by now. Most hang-ups, people just come out.
Yeah,
He's got to be out by now.
because all the bucking is eventually something's gonna like get loose, and he's just gonna fall out.
So
Okay.
he stopped to grab his hat. Well, anyways, he didn't come out. This joker made 2 laps
yeah.
before Leroy cut the rope finally, and the kid came out. I might have slowed him up a little bit, but this bull was wearing me on his head like a rag doll. But
Yeah,
it is
there's a-
still impressive. The fact you hung on is the most like.
I think I
impressive
watched it like
thing.
5 times, and it's one of those videos like in a bench clearing brawl in baseball where you just pick out one person and you watch it and you watch that person, and
can't
the
really
next
tell
time,
the other.
yeah, I had to watch it like 5 times and watch different people in it. It was incredible. It had to have felt like a lifetime for that guy. I mean, what was
Oh,
it like
man,
10,
yeah,
t-
for
10 to
him.
15 seconds, which is
Imagine
a lifetime
him.
if you're just flailing around.
helpless. It is the most helpless. I mean, imagine being drugged by your foot by anything, a car,
Yeah.
to anything.
Yeah,
Now it's a bull.
yeah.
It's a mean bull, and I knew exactly the caption when I got done and like the dust settled. I saw the guy that was filming at the time because he was going, Zach Morris. I was like, oh, you were filming, of course. I was like, I can't believe my wig stayed on. That's gonna be my caption. That's gonna be my
A
caption.
true creator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately thinking of the caption and thumbnail.
Yeah.
We have a mechanical bull tomorrow. Is that just like Is that just like whenever a professional golfer goes to a putt-putt course for you? I don't want to, like we talked about your head being huge, but.
Man, it would take an insane amount of money to get me on a mechanical.
Wait, really?
I don't know. You're at the joysticks.
It's going to be me. It's going to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm riding a machine ran by Hayden. I'm not riding a bull.
Because a bull, you can feel like you can probably be in the chute and have an idea if you do it long enough. As soon as this chute opens, which way the bull's going to go. Like I'm sure sometimes there's some wild cards.
In all of the rough stock events, really in any activity in the world, there's 2 or 3 basic fundamentals that you got to master. Bull riding looks chaotic, but there's really 2 or 3 fundamentals that if you execute, you can be the best. A mechanical bull does not have that. Like this summer gun is going to go anywhere, wherever you want it to go. It's got this joystick where it's like it could go left, right, up, down, backwards, forwards, all of them at the same time maybe. And so, yeah, it's just, they're difficult. But I do love me some Urban Cowboy. What's he doing back there?
He's turning it up.
All at the same time.
Someone over the last, 8 years has been plaguing me via email under the name Wes Hightower.
Nuh-uh.
And they just send an email once a quarter maybe. And I'm going to find out who it is one of these days.
Little John Travolta action.
Seriously?
Yeah.
How long?
Years.
8 years, you said?
Maybe 6.
Oh.
At least 6.
I like how they just have conversations over there that we don't know what they're
No, it
talking
gives me a
about.
great amount of time to look at my notes. We're going to go to break one more time. All right, I have a question. How long until kids don't know who Dale Brisby is?
Mm.
And let me say this is a situation like you'll see like a 10-year-old walking around and they say they're like Steph Curry's the best basketball player of all time. Or like Damian Lillard, someone that's definitely not the best basketball player of all time. They don't know who Michael Jordan is.
Mm-hmm.
When do you think your time's coming?
Dang.
I guarantee you've never been asked that one.
No, I haven't, because I've never really even considered that a kid may not know who Michael Jordan is.
It happens all the time. There was a kid that's 8 the other day on Twitter, and he went viral because he was talking about how Devin Booker's the best basketball player of all time. He's not even top 50. He's also 27 years old.
That clip of the ESPN guy, Max or whatever.
Max
and
Kellerman.
he's like, I'll tell you, my pick, not the greatest of all time, but who he would pick best player playing right now. He's like, Andre Iguodala.
Oh, not even a top 25 player.
Right.
League, yeah.
Super great basketball player.
but
could crush Dale Brisby. But anyway, so I'm thinking maybe the soonest 135 years, maybe something like that. Yeah, maybe 25-20, something like that. Somewhere in there. Yeah. Ish, give or take.
25-20 isn't 100 and whatever you just said years away.
Right, yeah.
But
The more I thought about
big
it,
range,
I was like,
big range.
it's got to be more than that.
Big range.
It's got to be. Yeah.
We talked about Yellowstone. This is kind of a joke question, but it's kind of serious. I feel like you should make a cameo. They feature so many. The music is all Texas country, Americana, like the folk scene. It's all these people that we all know. Surely you're on their radar, right?
When Taylor Sheridan calls me, the 2 words I'm going to say is "bout time."
Exactly.
Bout time.
Taylor Sheridan's in the show, and he's not a great actor.
Yeah.
You could be in it.
I guess people could probably say that about my videos.
No, that's what I'm saying.
They watch it for Willie.
This guy can do it on YouTube. Anybody can.
I feel like you're if you were on that show and say you're a Yellowstone watcher but you don't know who Dale is, you're not country at all, like you just watch the show, you would be like a cartoon character in that show. You would be very out of place in like the best way because you're almost like larger than life. Whereas they're just all they're all kind of want to be cowboys too, but they play their role.
What do you mean
like a
too? What do you mean also?
What did I say?
They're all want to be cowboys too.
No, sorry. They're all want to be cowboys. Forget that too.
You about to cross some lines. That's he say.
They'd be like, "Who is this guy?"
You about to cross some lines.
Do you guys get tired of the world just romanticizing Yellowstone, and then all of a sudden, cowboying's cool?
No.
I think people probably romanticize us in our job as well.
I'm not tired of it at all.
No.
Like, I think, like, I mean, is it going to create people that get interested in the industry, pursue it, find it, go get a job like being an intern from Dale Brisby, then go get a job on a real ranch and then become lifetime cowboys? Maybe like a few. But even if it just like makes a few people like fans of the industry, you know, that like maybe one day they own a horse, or maybe one day they buy a yee cap, or you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, like, I mean, I'll take anything we can get, you know, because I don't mind anybody coming somewhere to learn. You know, like these guys, when they show up to learn, any cowboy will help someone that's wanting and willing to learn. When someone shows up, I would think a true poser would be someone that shows up who does not know, and but they act like they do. You know, and they're you have that in any industry.
Yeah,
like,
be teachable.
Yeah, golf, music,
Yeah.
rodeo, cowboying. And so those kind of people, yeah, like that's annoying, but that's annoying in any industry. Somebody that has maybe like grew up in the city, then became an accountant, and then they move to the outskirts because their job can be done remotely, and then they get a couple of friends who have horses, and now all of a sudden they're buying boots and Wranglers and taking pictures on the horses. I don't mind that at all. Like at all. I love it, actually. But some people get offended at it. I'm not sure why. You know, I don't know. It's like, did you want us to stay a secret? You know, like what was going to happen to us if that's the case?
Yeah.
It's
But-
with everything too. We were talking about this the other day. Granger has one of the best like ways to compare this. He talks about, you know, you see it in music. Like, I mean, shoot, we were talking about this the other day. You see it like with a Parker McCollum, who we're all familiar with in the Texas country scene. Been doing his thing forever, grinding on the Texas circuit, doing whatever. Has a number one, has another number one. You get on Twitter, type in Parker McCollum sold out. There's all these people tweeting, man, he sold out. His sound ain't the same. It's like, no. He just got big, and now he's not a secret anymore.
Yep.
And Granger always says it's so funny because it happened with Granger too. It's like, imagine the guy that lives down the street from you, Larry. He has a plumbing business. And he does his thing. Like he's able to put food on the table for his family, but he never really like prospers that much. And eventually, he does all his own work. He has one worker, and he grinds and works real hard. Well, eventually he gets so big, he gets a couple corporate jobs, and he's doing plumbing for the big plant down the street or whatever. And before you know it, Larry has 4 crews, and Larry's not even working himself, or maybe he is, whatever, but he's crushing it. You would never say, Larry sold out. He ain't the same Larry.
Right.
You would be happy for Larry.
Yeah.
I know an artist in the music industry who had an album. They're going to put it out. Wrote it. Was like doing their own thing. And then signed with this group that, they're like, all right, well, now we're going to put this thing out. And people are like, oh, this person sold out. Well, it's like, no, like, I was going to do this anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like people start saying that only because of this piece of paper that has nothing to do with like, they're going to say that anyway. And matter of fact, I told, these two weren't here when we did the Netflix deal, but I told Donnie, I was like, look, no matter what this show comes out looking like people are going to say, he sold out, or I miss his old stuff. Well, like, rodeo clowns, yeah, they tell the same jokes every time at a rodeo, but that's because it's a new crowd.
Exactly.
Typically, every rodeo, for the most part, being entered, I get to hear them again and again. I laugh again and again, and I don't mind it. Never crossed my mind that they shouldn't do that. Well, on social media, we've got that. I can't tell the same joke every video. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Earl Dibbles can't tell the same joke. Now, he needs to stay him.
Yeah.
And as he would want to, but like I've got to like get a different angle, and like I want to do that. I couldn't do it for me, and so like I'm gonna make a new style video, and just like you guys are, and Granger's in a new spot in his life. His music might sound a little different. It's his music. He's the one that I don't think it has. I'm just saying that if he wanted to do a song that about being a dad that's different than when he was, 19, like that's his. But people are going to complain no matter what. And so I don't know. I try not to focus on those. Like I've gotten thicker skin as I've gotten, through all this. I feel bad though whenever like people like make fun of the team just because they're really new to it. I've had haters for a decade.
Yeah.
Well, I've had haters my whole life, but they got a lot more of them about a decade ago. And so like I've grown accustomed to dealing with it. Whereas like some of these guys, they come into the warehouse and they've been here for a month and they might experience a hater. So like, I guess I've got some empathy for them. That's when I'll usually go off, as if it's more about the team than me.
Yeah, it can be tough. Are dogs smart or stupid if they watch TV?
I don't know. I don't feel like they're anything. I mean, it's just
Really crushed this answer.
I mean, like they're dogs.
We've just been having this conversation. Like some people think they're smart. Some people,
I think some dogs are definitely smarter than others.
Sure.
I would say it's a smart thing rather than a dumb thing.
What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, why would it be a dumb thing?
Because it's a TV. Like they know it's not something. Like, have you ever seen a dog? Ooh, I'm also going through puberty. Have you ever seen a dog bark at like another dog on TV? I think that's stupid.
Yes. Yeah, my grandmother's dog did that a lot, and my grandmother's dog is stupid, so maybe there's a correlation there.
There you go. What do you think, Donnie?
I mean,
Does your dog bark at the TV?
no,
Smart dog.
no, he doesn't bark at the TV, but he like, I wouldn't say he watches it, but every now and then I'll catch him and he's like looking at it.
So he's semi-smart.
Just casually watching.
Yeah.
Just casually watching.
I mean, I would say that a dog that watches TV is smart, but I would not say that a dog that doesn't is dumb.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I guess that's my final answer.
Okay, fair enough.
Classic politician.
Oh,
Sorry, I thought it was going to be silent.
you're good. What's one person you would want to collaborate with? It can just be on a video. Anyone in the world. You can do anything you want. Have y'all had this conversation? Like, no parameters. It can be whoever you want.
Dang. Man, that's a
And
good question.
It can't be someone you've already worked with. You can't say JB.
Yeah. Man. So, like, I would say the two things, like, outside of rodeo, because rodeo is a small enough industry where I can, like, I get to meet, like, a lot of people, and I've been, like, I really like basketball, and I really like war stuff. Like, I don't like war. I hope that we don't have to have wars, but, like, I've been reading a lot of war books lately. So, like, some of those guys, like, that are, like, it would be cool, but I don't know how I would do a video with them.
You just put him on a bull.
Yeah.
Marcus Luttrell on a bull. That'd be incredible.
Yeah, he's had too many surgeries, he said.
Oh, you've talked to him already?
I got to go on his podcast about 2 months ago.
Nice.
Yeah. From the deal out of the movie, his back is like steel rods. So like his wife was like, because we talked about it on the podcast, him getting on the bull, and his wife shut it down. She was on it also. But I feel like he would probably do that. I feel like one of those seals would probably do that. Man, collaborate with, I mean, Joe Rogan. I feel like Earl Dibbles needs to go on Joe Rogan.
Man, we've talked about this before with Earl would never, because Earl can't.
He just doesn't have the time.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's working, but Earl being Earl for 3 hours with Joe, like minimum, you got to record for like 3 hours if you're going to go on the Joe Rogan podcast. Like Earl would have to be Earl for 3 hours. That's a long time.
But Granger could probably do it.
Granger could probably do it. We've talked about this before, like with him now being in Austin, and he's, close with the Black Rifle guys. Some of those kind of cross with us and y'all, like y'all know some of those guys. I feel like eventually something's going to happen. I'm not saying like someone from our group's going to go on Joe Rogan, but
I don't think Rogan would have someone who'd talk about Jesus on there.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think he'd do it.
I think Haynes is a Christian.
Cameron Haynes.
Yeah, they're like best friends. And he has who else does he have on there? Anyway, I think he's had a couple. He seems to get some guys on there that really disagree with him.
I will say that about Rogan. He likes to do all across the board. I guess more what I was thinking about is we actually talked about it for Yee Day. Of course, that would have been a whole other level of security. But we were like, no offense to you and Earl, but Joe Rogan's out here. It was like, God, we're going to have some fanboys like trying to come up to him. But we talked about it. We were like, man, if Matt Best was out here and a couple of these Black Rifle guys and Cameron Haynes, like there's a chance Joe Rogan would come out here.
Yeah.
May have it eventually happen.
Chris Pratt was the one I was thinking.
Chris Pratt would be a
Chris
good one.
Pratt.
I was gonna say Theo Vaughn.
Well,
Oh, that's a great one too.
Theo Vaughn, yeah. I'm saying Chris Pratt is a Christian, and he's been on Rogan's. I think he's like a more outspoken Christian.
He is. He's
that-
been kind of blacklisted in a lot of Hollywood stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got questions from Google to round us out. These are Google questions. These are questions that people are asking on the internet, not that I'm asking. How much money does Dale Brisby have?
In bull riding, I mean, like millions. I've won millions riding bulls and punching
What do they
bulls.
call you, the $100 million man?
Yeah, I think JB, like on record, they say has won the most, like 7 million or something like that. But
yeah.
like, I know I've won at least double that in bull riding.
Prove it. Show us your bank account. How much money do you have in your wallet right now?
Literally,
Yeah, cash. How much money do you have right now?
I don't know, like probably $7.
Classic. This one I guess we've already kind of talked about, but is Dale Brisby even a cowboy? You get that one all the time.
Not only am I a cowboy, but I literally invented the rules on what it takes to be one. So the first like video is You Ain't No Cowboy. Like we were making that video, and there we were walking around the truck, and I was doing a tour of my first gen, and like I got these picking strings on the headache rack, and I was like, if you ain't got picking strings on your headache rack, you ain't no cowboy. And like I was mid sentence, and I was like, yep, gonna do that. And so like cameras on, and it completely changed. We got away from like in the video, I switched it to the very first You Ain't No Cowboy. Cause like it was a tour, like, hey, I'm gonna show you all my truck, and then like that happened, and so it's funny because like I was like, if you ain't got a rope in the back seat of your truck, you ain't okay. I just literally went through. You ain't got a gooseneck hitch, whatever was on the truck, and so that was the first You Ain't No Cowboy. Ended up being like on a bunch of T-shirts. We've done like dozens of videos since then, but I would probably not really ever literally tell anyone,
Yeah.
you ain't no cowboy.
It's
Like I
so
would never do
disrespectful.
that. However, since I've put those videos out, it has caused a lot of 9-year-olds to run up to me at the booth and tell me I ain't no cowboy. And secretly, it kind of hurts my feelings. I'm not going to lie. But I brought it on myself. You know what I'm saying? That's the dilemma I'm in.
You also bring it on yourself with the DMs because your DMs are hilarious, but
Oh, yeah.
what you're like, you kind of want them to like. egg you
Yeah,
on,
it's
you know?
fun. It's fun. That has come with time. I couldn't have done that day one because
Right.
it would like really hurt my feelings. But these days, like I'm like, okay, bring it on.
Yeah.
So
All right, 3 tweets I found.
dang, you guys did some research and I
I know
love it.
These are good. Heather J said, Dale Brisby is just a punchy Earl Dibbles Jr. I think that's not far off.
Yeah, probably not. That's
I was like, I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult to Dale or Earl, but I'm sure both of them would love to hear that, actually.
yeah. She used the word "just" in there as if it was like,
Yeah.
but I don't
just.
think it sounds like. I don't think either one of us would probably. Yeah.
Bree Martino said, Dale Brisby is Kid Rock with a cowboy hat.
Kid Rock. I'd like to meet Kid Rock. I heard he's pretty cool.
He's something.
He was the best man
I was gonna
in
say.
Rob O'Neill's, the guy who shot Osama bin Laden. He was the best man in his wedding. Fun fact.
Dude, that would have been an American wedding. to
Wasn't
go.
that? That was an American wedding right
Yeah.
there.
They just walked down the aisle to the Star Spangled
Dude,
Anthem.
the guy that shot Osama bin Laden is getting married, and Chris Rock. Kid Rock is his best man. That's a cool wedding to
all
be
summer
at.
long. Probably like that. That would have been.
All right, this last one is my favorite. Macy McMillan said, If I say Dale and the first person that comes to your mind is Dale Brisby and not Dale Earnhardt, you need to reevaluate your life.
I don't know.
Thoughts?
I mean, he's a fellow legend, you know, but I mean, yeah. It's hard to. I mean, she's just in a whole nother industry, in a whole nother world, and she's throwing rocks where they need not be thrown.
I will say,
Dale Earnhardt was a fan of Dale Brisby.
the senior.
Yeah, both of them. Both of them.
I will say, if we're looking at a Dale Mount Rushmore with 4 on it, Dale Senior, Dale Junior, and Dale Brisby.
Exactly.
I don't know another one.
We're
but
looking for a fourth.
Yeah, looking for a fourth. If you're a
Yeah.
Dale out there that needs to be on the Mount Rushmore,
Me and
Dales,
Dale Jr. get to approve it. So
that's one that you could collaborate with.
Yeah.
because he does a lot of content now.
he's good buddies with JB.
Oh,
really?
So I know he know. Yeah, him and JB, because you know JB's from North Carolina,
Uh,
and so they like would do some stuff together occasionally. Like JB's like hung out at his house a lot.
dang, I didn't know that.
JB knows a lot of NASCAR.
You know
guys.
someone else, Chipper Jones. He's in Texas now. He has a ranch somewhere. I think I want to say like Bernie, but
I don't know. I was
the
don't know.
Atlanta Braves third baseman. He played there for like 20 years.
Uh,
What? Oh, South Texas. Never mind. But he's always hunting. He's like into rodeo type stuff. That'd be someone. All right. Anything else?
We got questions for y'all.
Oh,
Where's my phone?
do tell.
No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
I was about to
Do
say.
we cut this up? What time do we?
I think Brian just let that go. So. Okay.
What about y'all two with Yee Yee? You guys are like the heart of this place. I feel like anything that goes on around here. I mean, like, what would Granger and Earl do without you guys? Like, what's y'all's role in here?
He'd find a new me. I try to remind myself that I'm always replaceable.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's a whole team, but
Yeah, Granger. Everyone has their own role. Granger is really focused on music, and he's
Uh-huh.
focused on preaching, and
As he
he's
should be.
focused on writing his book. And especially at this stage in his life, he always wanted to. Hopefully, I mean, he didn't really want to. I just graduated from A&M, and I was like, "Hey, you should make shirts." And then he was like, "Okay," and so I came on and started making shirts and hats, and that's
Give
literally.
me a job.
I joke about it all the time. I don't do much of anything except make quality stuff and then market it in an interesting way with Granger and Earl. And then Hayden does the same thing
So how long have you been working for him?
since 2016, so about 6 years.
What's it like working with your brother?
Granger's not super involved in the day-to-day. Tyler manages him, and then
Right.
Tyler's here every day. The age difference is big enough to where we don't really butt heads. If
Yeah.
anything, I'm the mediator. They're 14 and 10 years older than me,
Uh-huh.
and so I know my place.
Right. That's a good gap.
Seriously, very
Yeah.
bluntly, we've never really butt heads. So if there's ever a big deal, I know they're the two founders. I wouldn't be here if it
Yeah.
weren't for them. And so I'm like, hey, I'll run it the best that I can. Thanks for having me.
With Leroy and I, we're 2 years apart, and it was maybe like 5th grade where he caught up to me and passed me in height, maybe 4th. And like ever since then, he's literally been larger than me.
yeah,
And
he's
so,
a big old boy.
Yeah, like high school football, like he was like a stud.
Yeah, I'd hate
And
to run into him. on the
I
field.
had to work for any little bit of like I had no talent and had to earn everything on that tiny football team I was on, and he just so anyways, whatever. The point is, he was like, yeah, we butted heads a lot because it's like we were almost twins.
Oh, Granger and Tyler, it used to be bad. It
Really?
used to be like fist fights at the bar after the show with just like
Dang.
stupid stuff. There's some really funny stories.
4 years is me and my brother are like 4 years apart, and like you're not close enough to like do stuff together when you're growing up, but you're close enough to fight about
Yeah.
stuff. That's how me and my brother were. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for coming on.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
We're about to have a heck of a time tomorrow.
I'm excited. I'm glad that we're down here. We can get our rest and get ready for it.
Gonna be a good one. All right. Thank you guys for listening. Wait. Go ahead.
We wrap up our podcast with
let's do
life advice.
Oh, okay.
I'll be curious what your guys' life advice would be.
You know what I was thinking about? We don't have life advice. What do you think if we don't have to do it this episode? What if
He's like, we're not going to do that.
I think it'd be funny if everyone did a fun fact to end
Okay.
the episode. Like, dinosaurs can grow the size of whatever, whatever.
Oh.
Like just something at the end. Moving forward, not this one. But yeah, let's do some life advice. Go.
Why don't you close us out with some life advice, Dale?
Yeah, why don't you
This
just
is
do
your
that?
podcast now.
Well, thanks for you guys listening. Appreciate you guys all the time. Check out yeeyeeapparel.com. Is that the website?
We say yee.com because everyone messes up apparel. Apparently no one knows how to spell it.
Yee. I'm actually wondering, does it have 2 P's?
2 P's, 1
Okay.
R.
Regardless, check it out. Yee. And listen to the podcast and follow us on all these socials. Some life advice from Dale Brisby.
Drop your store and your socials.
Oh, Dale Brisby. DaleBrisby.com. Text me, 940-353-0890. If you want to be an intern, text the word intern. And then I'll check it and send you a YouTube video on how to do that. Life advice. Always give 100% unless you're donating blood. That's my go-to.
Such a dad joke.
But then the other one would be do the right thing for the right reasons and deal with the consequences.
Donnie?
That's a twist.
Oh man, I just thought of this the other day. Really, a man has 2 lives, and the second one starts when he realizes he only has one. I just
Woo! That is deep.
I
I'm
wrote
crying
that.
in the club.
Yep.
I thought you were gonna say the other one.
the one about experience,
No, risks.
risks.
Take a chance.
Oh, take a chance. Columbus did. Yeah.
Columbus did.
Parker, you got one?
He is no fool who gives up what he cannot keep to gain what he cannot lose.
Are we talking about salvation? Talking about his life. Dang. That's a deep track.
Hayden, close us out.
Don't pee on an electric fence
Yeah. Or eat yellow snow.
or eat yellow snow. All right. Thanks for listening. Eat your veggies.
Pow pow.
Yeah.